Chill.
We forgot to discuss who talks first, so let's talk at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to
Hello,
VFX
everybody,
and Chill.
welcome to
We're
VFX
both
and
Hashi
Chill.
and Seth, and also
the
there is Michael. I wonder if we can keep this up the entirety of the entire
so you
show.
come to the end of a really long road.
We
which
love
is kind
you.
of wild.
We're so sad. Hi, everyone. Welcome to
everybody.
The End.
The end.
That might happen throughout the episode. Listen, everyone, we are here on the series finale of Visual Effects and Chill. That's its full birth name. Here with me, as always, I'm Seth Worley. With me is my pal Daniel Hashi Hashimoto and our pal Michael Solapsky. This is a pretty loose show today. We're going to be walking through, it's kind of a trip down memory lane. I think we've each personally assembled some of our lists of our favorite stuff that we have made on the show. We're going to watch a lot of it and talk about a lot of it and unpack a lot of it and figure out what we would do differently and if that's the case. But to start off, how are we doing? How's it going?
I'm great. Can we check the chat link for me, please?
Oh yeah, thank you.
Because I want to make sure that our lovely audience is able to participate in this show as they do with so many other shows.
Absolutely, and obviously we'll try to get to it in a more efficient way, a more official way. But obviously, this show is what it was because of your wonderful viewers out there, and it gave such a different dimension to the type of teaching and VFXing and everything that we got to do. So it was just really, really nice. And so I'm happy that anyone who's here in the chat, especially those of you here on the VFX and Chill YouTube channel, official channel, jump in the chat. We'd love to hear your voices, as always, for one last time.
And the truth is, there's really no reason not to go ahead and subscribe to that because, the show may be ending, but our channel's going to stay there, from what I understand, and we might be uploading some extra stuff and some leftovers. We might actually even be. Who knows? We might do a little special here and there. We don't know, but we've got that channel, so just subscribe to it. Honestly, it's also great just to have because it has all of our weird crap that we've made that we're going to talk about on the episode today.
It absolutely does. And I think that's the biggest ridiculous part of this show is the absurd content that we were tasked to make for Red Giant and then Maxon were, accessible.
It's stupid.
Could not have said it better. We wanted to make it less intimidating to tackle new softwares and things like that by seeing that they're fairly easy to use if you just play around with them a little bit. So I don't remember where I was going with that, but where I was going was the memes. Thank you for coming here for the memes. They've been wild, and they're going to live here on VFX and Chill for forever or until the servers melt down.
So, look, here's the deal, guys. Here's what I'm thinking. We originally were going to kind of... I was thinking we would rank our favorite things that we've made, and then I would have something like average them all, and then we'd walk through them in a nice structure this episode. Unfortunately, we ran out of time, and all we have are just loose lists of our favorite things, big folders.
So out of character for us in this.
I know.
Loose lists,
big bins in Premiere, loose lists, big bins full of files, and a chat full of people, full of weirdos that all like different things and some of the same things. So if you guys want to throw in the chat what your favorite crap is that we have made on the show that we can talk about, and we'll try. Here's the thing. You watched us make most of this stuff. So while I would love to actually try and shed some like juicy goss and like inside baseball behind some of this stuff, you usually watched us make it. So there's a chance that we're not going to have any new information on it, but we'll do our best. So if you've got stuff that we've made that you like and you want to ask questions about or talk about, throw it in the chat and it will influence us.
It's amazing. We're very easily influenced by
We are reverse
what our peers
influencers.
ask us to do.
There are influencers, and then there are influencees, and that's us. We just do whatever the internet tells us to do.
Man, that should have been the tagline for this show. We'd still be on.
We would still be here. Do we want to dive into anything, or do we want to like take a break first, like get a break out of the way, and then dive into some stuff?
Sure. Yeah, we can let people collect their thoughts, mention some of their favorite things in the chat. That would be wonderful. So we can have some lovely stuff to talk about, and then let's take a short little break.
All right, let's do it.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you. Go on. Far across the distance and spaces between us, you have come to show you. Go on.
Nailed it too.
Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on. Once more, you open the door, and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go on down.
Oh, Hashi, you're in the weird zone again.
Now that we've reached the end, it's so hard to say goodbye.
There's nothing I fear, and I know that my heart will go on. We'll stay forever this way. You are safe in my heart, and my heart will go on
It's stupid. All of it.
I want to apologize and say you're welcome to every one of our viewers. So we want to make sure that we credit Nick Smith did more work than
Holy
we are willing
cow.
to do. We
Yes,
all cried.
Nick Smith here in the chat. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
The most touching, ridiculous summary that absolutely encapsulated the energy and efforts of this show, which I think is wild. It's wild.
Really, really wonderful. And meant a whole lot to us,
was-
Nick. Thank you.
Yeah, so nice. It was kind of you to give us a chance to watch it in private before watching this live on the air.
I got to tell you that also, just You took It's Stupid, all of it, and made it touching. You made it like deeply heartfelt and sweet. And God, we love you, pal.
Incredible.
This is where
So,
now
yeah.
Feeney saying, "We loved you all." Class dismissed. Okay. How do we want to do this, guys? We want to kind of each person take a turn and say something that they're real at. Let's do that. Let's go around the fire here. I'd like to start
Excellent.
with Michael. Michael, I would like for you to pick something that we made on the show that you particularly loved. And don't worry, it won't be your only chance. You blacked out. You're gone. Hopefully you'll come back. There you are. I don't know what that is.
I mean, I was hoping that I didn't, since we don't have the internet from the sky. I'm using actual land internet. These things they would go smoother, but
That's
apparently
okay.
it doesn't want to.
We can hear you though. So tell what's something.
I think one of my favorite
what's your first?
things.
No,
I think
it's
one
okay.
of my favorite things that we did on the show was the Loki string setup, where we did the time warp, and you had that cool expression that pulled the color
Oh,
from
that
two
was
ends and blended it and all that mess.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. From our third or fifth Loki episode.
Well, you're just immediately hitting me with something that I don't know if I have. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on.
Well, fine. I could talk about something else.
No. Talk
I've
about
got
that.
lots of
I can
other
find
It's,
it.
it's probably in our promos folder.
Yeah. Well, I inputted.
I don't remember what it would have been called. Loki. What was that callalled? Time.
Hang on now. I will say we've got some comments in the chat that we need to call up. Super Acid Yoshi Ninja, he's hashtag Yoshi, is asking, what does this mean for action movie kids? Are you going to go back into a hiatus, or are you going to grab your children and do things with them once more?
Oh my goodness.
Those children are old now.
I'll let you do the math on my children and how excited they might be right at the moment to jump back on YouTube for everybody to see. But it's given me some perspective in slowly letting a YouTube channel that you love slowly wither on the vine. And luckily someone is putting ours out of its misery. But, I don't take it personally.
And the chat is also talking about some of the drops they liked. Someone said Super Comp is legendary. I missed who said that earlier. Chris Ferrano says CC ball action always hit hard. Patrick GG says they will miss Dang It Michael the most. So is Yusuf McCoy's also hopping on board with that. And VFX and Kids says even when we were doing an effect that didn't interest them, they still enjoyed watching us.
Aw.
Hey,
Thanks,
that's
VFX
what
Kids.
we hope.
And I think VFX and Kids, based on your avatar, you're also the one to thank for our channel handle. Thank you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Michael, I found it.
Hey everyone, and welcome to VFX. VFX and Chill.
I forgot. I forgot that you looked so unhinged in this one. That, like, for some reason, you putting on a tie looks more disheveled.
I almost wore this outfit for today's episode because that's my favorite look.
I
I've
don't know
ever
why.
had, I
You
think.
put on a tie, you look less formal. You look more disheveled, and it's
Like you can see the years on me this way. That's what I like about it.
oh my gosh.
That is my child's dress shirt because I didn't even have one. So that's how old the kids are right now.
That's amazing. Now, this one I remember this week. You had a specific way you went about it, and then I built actually, I think I'm looking at it. I think yours is using that. My
Yes.
script, or what was it? A preset that I built that could actually stretch.
It was amazing. I feel like we give that away? I don't know.
I hope we did, but we called it something, and I don't remember what it was. I don't feel like if I open After Effects, I'm going to break my computer this week.
What was it? It was
We'll find out by the end of the week. Someone will. Nick Smith has now watched every episode in detail and pulled clips from it, so he's got to know.
I was saying just before this that it's practically too much work.
Forget that's being triggered by something.
That drops.
By the way,
for you to get annoying at all.
Our auto drops. are being, this is not a bit. This is not a bit. This sounds like a bit. This sounds like I'm setting up something great. Lower your expectations. Our auto drops are broken. Some are being triggered. Some are not. There is no funny payoff to this, guys. I'm just warning you. But man, we've set you up to expect that to be something great. Hashi.
My goodness. Yes.
Any other insight into this video before we move to the next one?
I would say I remember that it was one of the last ones where we were doing a full set up my green screen, put on a costume, and lit and filmed myself for this silly thing. And that's just it is a fun thing. As Nick Smith captured in that amazing compilation, we like to get dressed up every now and then with a mouse head or a tie or a cowboy hat, and sometimes we get undressed. And if you want to enjoy our playlist of episodes where we take our shirts off,
we have a playlist in which we take our shirts off, and it's right there. That's why you should subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, Hashi, what about you? What's a good video for you?
Oh man, I don't remember what it's called in there, but I really enjoyed our Uncharted episode.
Yes.
I think the video for it might be titled the Adam Project promo, because that's what we were doing
right. Okay.
next week. But
Got a bug in my mouth.
This is just air.
They're just living out here in the bush.
Please welcome our friend Tom Holland.
You know what? I want to remind people that I was the Sully, my
That's
dad
great,
with
Mark.
the mustache.
We're out of time.
So you want to attempt this multi-million-dollar flying out of a jet? If you're going to be falling out of a plane, I can inspire why you're falling out of this plane.
You're accomplishing everyone's dream today.
Please join us next week for the Adam.
Oh yeah, why not?
We should do the Adam Project next week.
The Adam Project or Project Adam, the trailer, it's out there. It's really cool. And there's a lot of effects in it that we've literally done on this show. So we thought we might just redo them. It's a quick left turn. Here we go. Whoa! Man, back in the days where we were really going for it with our OBS setups.
goodness.
I remember you found a clip of Wahlberg just going on and on about something, and we just
It was like someone had asked him if he was familiar with the game Uncharted, and Mark had a lot to say. None of it which pertinent to the question. It was just entirely about his family genealogy and who had played the game, who had told him about it. Pretty amazing stuff.
We just ask Mark. We just kind of dismiss Mark every now and then throughout. Seasons 1 and 2.
Back in the days where, also where Tom would hop on the stream every now and then for us, which was really kind.
Guys, we tried really hard to get actual Tom on the show this week. Our plan was always to try and get Tom Holland on the show and treat him exactly the same as we treat the pre-recorded fake Tom.
We did.
And never let him talk. But unfortunately, Tom's busy making Spider-Man. And also, we don't know how to reach him. So
yeah,
we tried as hard as we could.
We did. But if any of you 40 watching live on the VFX and Chill official channel, no, Tom, have him hit us up.
I really loved our Home Alone episode, and I loved it for a couple reasons. One, I got to recreate. I always love getting to recreate old, like the graphics and credits and titles of my favorite movies from when I was a kid.
This was a masterful recreation.
So much fun. I love trying to match those little artifacts and gate weaves, and I'm a font guy. Like, I really love figuring out what typefaces and stuff we're using here and trying to mimic these old optical styles. And but I also loved it because we built probably one of my favorite OBS setups.
Gosh.
In which
look at
you and
this.
I pull up. We got a VFX and Chill van.
Oh my gosh.
And then the two of us look so stupid. I mean, I think it is. This is where our guest is supposed to be. So we're talking, and then I believe we're like, oh, look. Oh my gosh. Hey, Hosh, is that our guest right there? And then Jordy.
Could it be?
Hey.
Oh, snap. He saw us.
Those two guys.
No, I believe Jordy then Find out met who- us. Where didn't he meet us? Oh yeah, then he like meets us over. We go around the side.
Talk to him. Here we go.
Quietly.
He's decorating the tree.
This is all stuff
Jordy!
that that Jordy did not know he was going to do until we were in our pre-show.
No, and he showed up with a whole crew of people to be on the show
60
with him.
men and
Like 60 men, and we were we were prepared to comp one man into these scenes. So we of course then had this fire bit going. And then then here is my favorite of introducing Michael. We put in the great Salam video. Oh, it's Michael.
Michael.
Why, hello there.
Oh, Michael the gangster.
I'm Michael the gangster.
So, and then I believe that we cut to people in the living room. It's the two of us. But then at a certain point, the whole crew joins us, and they're all sitting back there behind us.
That's some insane improvising from a. Like, I always imagine that you are at a physical switchboard doing these OBS setups.
I am. They don't do anything. It's just it's a sensory thing. I just really like the feedback.
It's incredible.
And the other thing I loved about the Home Alone episode is that we talked about the Pepper's Ghost effect, which is like one of our favorite, like old timey in camera like effects, which is how the Haunted Mansion works. It is you put just like this shows, you put a plate of glass in between at an angle between the camera and the subject you're filming, and off to the side, you put fire or a ghost or some highly very bright element against black that then reflects off of that glass and creates the illusion of it being there. And we even did what I loved about this episode was getting to actually recreate this effect.
This was so cool for you
in my office. This was so fun because normally when I try to do this kind of stuff, it does not work. And it
looks so great.
It's just a magical effect. And it's the simplest thing, but it's so satisfying when you get it to work.
I love it. And as I recall, this one popped off on social media too, because it's such a great magic trick.
Well, it's because when you say no visual effects, for some reason that stupid tag works,
Mm-hmm.
Michael,
Amazing.
we're back to you. You got one? What you want? Or we can get one from the chat.
If you're talking OBS, if you're talking OBS setups, that planes, trains, and automobiles OBS with like in the car driving with our guest was also a good one.
And another episode where I got to recreate one of my favorite titles. Again, another great John Hughes holiday movie.
So good.
We have. You know what? Let's Michael, shall we? Oh wait, that was my test right here. Hang on. Where's the actual episode? I think this is. Yeah, this is it. So here we. Wait, no, this is my test. Do I have footage from the actual episode? I don't. Okay.
Ooh.
So. Do I? No, I don't. So anyway, this is just my test that I shot. So this is with placeholders.
Gosh, it's incredible.
It's like me talking, showing you how it's going to work. Hashi will be right there. And then we'll be, oh no, Michael's here. We just got pulled over. And then we would cut here and Michael was standing right there looking down at us. And then I believe you and I were then in the car looking up and talking like that. Rodolfo from Action VFX was on that show. It's a really, really fun episode. Definitely check that one out.
My gosh. Yeah. Sincerely, so much thought going into this ridiculousness. I can't believe it.
It was really fun. Michael, does the chat have anything?
The chat has had a number of suggestions. Hang on, I'm trying to get every episode we're mentioning. I'm also putting links for it in the chat.
Thank you,
because otherwise, what kind of show would this be?
Absolutely.
Jason Murphy's
Otherwise,
calling
it'd be
out
weird.
that Jason Murphy's calling out the live German show is one of their favorite things we did.
Yes, we love the July Germany show.
My goodness.
So-
There is a wonderful behind the scenes episode that describes the entire crazy process of this.
Yes.
Seth, what are some of your favorite things you remember from this?
Man, this show was so fun because the two of us, some backstory. Every year, the company we work for and that the show is made for, Maxon, has their all company meeting, their summit in Germany, which is where Maxon's based. And last year, I think it was in April, and sometime towards the end of the year, somebody. Okay.
Incredible.
Simon Walker, our executive producer, was like, "Hey, how would you guys feel about doing a live visual effects? Why do I keep saying that today? A live VFX and Chill on."
It's what you call it if you're we're here from the beginning.
It's true. How would you feel about doing that on stage at the summit? And you would actually go live and be live in front of an audience and yada yada. And you and I got unreasonably excited about it, Hash, because it
was something that we were taking this show on the road. It was the first time.
Yeah.
That we were actually both at the same location to do live visual effects challenges, and it was incredible.
And we had all kinds of elaborate ideas for it because we saw it as almost like an opportunity to do what's the name of the Muppets stage show at Disney World that was there for a long time?
Muppets 3D.
Yes, Muppet Vision 3D is
Muppet
really
Vision 3D.
Our inspiration. Is we wanted things like flying off the stage. We wanted and it started with our desire to play with this idea of the fact that we're always in these little boxes.
Hey everybody, welcome to VFX and Chill. I'm Hashi, and right here with me is my good buddy Seth.
Hey buddy, how you doing? So I remember you came up with this idea is if we ever do from the very beginning, we're if we ever get to do a show in person together, we should do this gag where we should be in our little boundary boxes. And then we should just start handing each other stuff and play that out as long as we can until we climb out of them and are together again. So what this meant was we had to prep everything for the show for months leading up to the show and down to what gear needed to be in Germany for us to do it. And again, all of this stuff is on that behind the scenes episode. Almost too much information is in that behind the scenes episode.
It's it's a good primer in case you ever go specifically do what we did.
But this one we had to shoot while we were there because we had to be in person for it. And so we are in my hotel room with a green screen and the weirdest, most elaborate setup, because if you'll notice, we wanted our shoulders to still be clipped by the boundary box, but we needed to also reach out. We wanted to feel like we were in, behind there, but able to reach out and around it. So the top half of the boundary box on the insides are there's a mask to allow us to reach out over from the top half. And then we have to transition it at some point. We're also dumping sugar all over the floor of my hotel room, doing this over and over.
This is amazing.
But it was so rewarding, man. I remember in the room, so much audible laughter and just joy at this moment. The fact that we were in the same place and hugs.
Look at that. Hugs. Oh my gosh.
And then this amazing stock footage intro that we did where we just found... We each picked a stock person
stock stand-in
to be us.
Oh my
Perfect.
gosh.
So perfect. So the other thing, there were several gags that we did in this Germany show. And here I'll show a clip. My favorite was this idea, going back to the Muppet Vision 3D, is that we wanted. Actually, Hash, you talk about this. Can you talk about the Michael gag?
God. Well, we knew we were if we're going to be on stage, we better do some stuff that you couldn't do in a live stream format, like theatrics, cool props, pyrotechnics. The theater did not clear us for any pyrotechnics, but we did work in an impromptu stunt or two.
Yeah, we did. Now, how did we? Let's show it and then talk about it. You all know him if you've watched the show before. Welcome to the stage, descending from the ceiling, Michael Zalapsky. Oh, God. Oh, God, Michael. Are you okay, buddy?
You okay?
Did you tell them in feet or in meters?
Oh, my God, there's a different metric system here.
Oh!
We bought too much rope. That's how math works. So there were two versions of this, and I don't remember what the other one was, but we landed on the idea that Michael would the one idea was this one where Michael would fall from the ceiling and there'd be too much rope and he would hit the ground. But there was one where we bought too little rope and he would just be dangling from the ceiling the whole episode, right?
We had circulation concerns about that. Well, let's say Michael did really.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, and then we had to buy like a harness or like, what is that you're actually wearing, Michael? I forgot.
It's a harness of some kind. I don't honestly remember what it was, but we got the rope kind of looped around different things. I had to wear that rope the whole episode.
And you're actually tied to, like, you're tethered to the ceiling.
Yeah, I am genuinely tethered to the ceiling. For those who didn't quite catch it, that was a digital me that fell, and I just Texas switched out from under the podium. But,
still works for me. Like, I just watched that and
it cut together so well.
So that clip, that was the other thing we had to so like all of this is live, of course, but then we needed this clip right here. I shot on my phone in the middle of somebody's presentation.
That's right. Yeah.
Just a quick like tilt down. And fun fact, we had to make sure, so everybody, you see the backs of their heads, but like we didn't have a release. A lot of people who work at Maxon, like everybody has to sign a release if they're okay with like their, showing up in some of these videos. And we didn't have releases for a couple people, specifically someone sitting right in the foreground. Their face was kind of visible. And so our pal Batul at Maxon, she went to confirm everybody in there was okay, but this one person understandably would prefer not to be in the episode. So Brad Fish was standing right there and was like, you want to just film the back of my head? But we were like, yeah, Brad, we can cover anybody with you because your hair is just so definitively you. So I think I took a picture of the back of Brad's head and then just comped him in.
Oh my gosh, it's incredible.
Covering up that person. And no one has any reaction to Michael falling. And then you, Hash, built and animated and rendered Michael and the rope in Cinema and Redshift.
Yes, this presentation is, I think, what kicked off the Redshift era of VFX and Chill, where I knew if we were going to go to a big company meetup and show off our stuff to to everyone who lovingly made the software, we should probably use it.
And we did, and you especially used it on the payoff to this gag at the end. Is that rope a problem?
My goodness.
Oops. Okay, stop it. The end. Hang on. Oh my God, I triggered it.
No.
But on a perfect loop too. Okay. At the end. Oh.
For the final part of the show, we
in
decided
the concluding section of the show, we were like, "Hey, let's all get a selfie together." So we all grouped around, and there are like 5 layers of automations and produced, last minute pre-produced elements here that made this work. And it all, and I might have a button. I might have a button for it. Hang on. Let's see. Does this make the rope longer?
Stand by for rope retraction. Rope will retract.
What the? Why is that a feature?
3, 2, 1. Hang on.
So, Hashi, you had to like render this once and then render it again in the background to be the projected.
Yes, this was a wild setup for trying to figure it out in Redshift for our first time. It was every part of our unified physics simulation coming together, and also, yeah, it's a. Luckily, we had learned some fun efficiencies, which you can see in some of our ridiculous like physics and you episodes. But yeah, this was a wild simulation that required us to know what we were going to wear on the day, so we could have this set up.
Oh yeah.
I had the banners in the wrong place because we were guessing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because we had the art for the banners, but we didn't know exactly where they'd be placed. We had pictures and like a 360. You found a 360 video from the previous year in the room and used it to create a reflection map. Like a dude, everyone go watch that episode. It's really behind the scenes. The actual Germany episode's great, but also behind the scenes. But the whole reason we got to this Germany episode here in this episode to talk about was maybe Nick's, or I can't remember whose, reference to this little gag that we did. Unfortunately, okay. This was a gag we wanted to do from pretty early on. One of our first ideas for this live show was, Hashi, you proposed what if I accidentally break the drops machine and it all gets converted to German? And we planned this gag, developed all these little cues for it, and then forgot that in order for it to happen, we would be interrupting our poor friend Stu's part of the section without warning him.
We sacrificed Stu professionalism to
without
our want for lols.
We asked him to make something really cool real fast on the show, and he did, but in the middle of it we were like, hey, shut up, here's some jokes. And he was a great sport about it. But here, let's watch it.
It was close, but since we're just watching Stu, I'm actually sorry, I should be on mic. I love actually seeing. I've never seen you do the show, and this looks like a very complicated setup. I love it.
It's not really here.
But
who's our favorite actor of all time?
Well, Chris Pine.
We love Chris Pine. I wish he were mine. He's always on my mind, Chris Pine.
So yeah. Obviously, our show relies heavily on the drops, but I've never seen the way you set this up before, so this is really cool. So you just
actually,
what do you do?
It's really actually kind of complicated. Can you not mess with it?
Converting. Vollständig.
Oh my God.
Oh, what the? Hashi.
What? They're all in German now.
Action.
I'm sorry. No.
Chris Pine. Ich will dich ausmeinen. Wir leben wunderschön, Chris Pine.
I think I can fix this. Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. Let me see.
Konvertieren.
Complete.
Wait. Why was it a guy? Why did that? It went too far.
Too far.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
You selected American, not English.
All right. It'll settle back in. That version came in last minute from you, Hosh, the night before, and you never explained how you did it, and I've never asked.
It's worth not. And in fact, this would be an amazing transition to something, but Seth, I'm so close to being able to do the whole thing.
No, that's okay. I mean, look, we've got something that happens in between, and we've still got 15 minutes till that. So you take your time. We can come back to that. So that's the Germany episode. Everybody make sure you check out the Germany episode. Hashi, it is your turn though real quick to talk about one of your favorite things that we've done on the show. What would be another one of your favorite things?
Goodness. I have very many things that I love that we did on the show. And I listed them earlier on our thing, and I'm going completely blank.
Oh, you know what? I'll look and see.
So yeah. I do enjoy when we occasionally make a very solid visual effects result, which is great. I mean, that's sort of what we're supposed to do by profession. And I think that, everyone on this show are very talented at visual effects. But we have this additional restraint of trying to do them live within 2 hours with sort of, I won't say minimal prep, because the show is a tremendous amount of work, as you can see from the Germany behind the scenes episode. But the actual doing of the VFX we try to do very quickly, and sometimes I think we pull it off pretty well.
I think you're talking about
blowing up.
I think you're talking about
something
this
like
one.
That.
This one, am I correct?
Yes.
Because this blew my mind, Hosh. This is one of the coolest things you've ever made on the show.
I think it's one of my favorite things I've made, period.
Like that is show ready. It's so good. But this one looks like the shot from Star Trek. Like it doesn't look like you recreate anything. It looks like the shot from Star Trek 2009. It's absolutely nuts.
Pyro mixing with physics engine. It's so great.
It's just absolutely
wild. And if you want to know how to make this happen, the link for that show is in the chat.
It was also subtly, it was the week that we found out that we were going to be winding down the show.
It is.
And so I wanted to say, like, let's do the end of the world.
Just like, F this planet and gone.
Gosh.
Man. I am trying to figure out. So I really love. Well, Hashi, do you have anything else you want to talk about that?
I mean, speaking of really good visual effects, Patrick GG says that, of course, the planet exploding one was good, but also the Dune episode with the worm riding said that episode was absolutely mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the effects in this episode, I think you and I both, before the episode, were like, this is the best we've done on this show.
Seriously. Well, I remember that you posted the comp of it because I was doing some like renders and layers that weren't phenomenal on their own. And then you posted your comp of it. And I was like, wait, is that...
Forgot about that.
Is that the comp?
Yeah, it was nuts. The render was perfect and great, and the depth map it gave us, and then working with Action VFX and Production Crate, like stock footage, it just and a camera shake from Universe, it just all comes together. Like it came together incredibly well, and there was Super Comp and some Magic Bullet. It all worked incredibly. I would say there. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, Alex Random from the chat says that Hashi's homemade waterbed bit from summer of 2023 still has them crying, laughing every time they remember it.
Oh my gosh.
Homemade waterbed bit. I don't remember.
I was just trying to say that.
I think that I filmed a time lapse of me figuring out a rig to get a photogrammetry model of my head. And in the room that I was in, where I was trying to hang stuff from the ceiling, there was only a waterbed. So trying to reach the ceiling led to shenanigans, as I recall.
Wow, do I have that? I don't remember that at all.
Goodness. Oh, man, that was right after I had arrived in good old Canada. And
I bet I don't have it here, but if...
No, that was wild. It was one of our first like pre-tapes for the show because I wasn't sure if I was going to have internet.
Yeah. Michael Pollack saying other great results were the Gladiator water fight episode.
Oh, yeah.
And that one was great because I'm sitting there playing around showing a bunch of different ways to do water things. And then in the last half hour of the show, Hashi decides, you know what, I'm going to do a full out real one. And just an amazing result.
That was a lot of fun.
Again, the links
cool.
for these are all in the chat.
Yes. Like that episode blows minds, and also huge amount of views on that episode. That was our most successful episode of this season, I believe. And the dinosaur really promo, by the way, that you just mentioned, Hashi and I were talking about this. For me, some of the things I'm most proud of are just oftentimes these kind of throwaway little promos.
This promo I love so much.
It feels so fun. I love me some typography. I love me some big bold text, but I love me some dinosaurs. And this was a shot that you animated and rendered and sent over to me with some depth maps and stuff. And I just put some spit and slime into it. And I believe I got this slime either from Action VFX, or I might have actually gotten it. Okay. What is this one? Well, and great freeze frame. I like how mad I am, and I made it. I created it, you would say.
You created it.
We created it.
We created it.
Okay. Freaks is still there.
Still on board.
The slime is actually from Triune. the Triune store. Go look it up. They got a great slime stock pack that's used here to put all the saliva in this T-Rex's mouth.
It's ridiculous.
One other thing that I do want to talk about, if that's okay, is that we did. Give me a second. Yes, I am a big fan of some of the intros that we have made on the show. We will we should definitely go through and look at like our season 2 like intro and our season 4 line of intros. Like season 3 was the one where you made the like massive file that almost destroyed your computer.
It was ridiculous. It was something where like in screen space, the final image would have been like 4 miles long or something like that.
Absolutely nuts. But then the season 4 intro series, we tried to make a new version every episode. We'll get to that. But I also am really proud of...
Such a solid idea. Why not? Why wouldn't you want to?
A show that we built to be about little preparation. I really loved... So there was an episode where we talked about UFOs, UAPs. It's actually a very cool episode and very fun because I remember us making a spaceship and making a really cool comp at the end of it that I think is the thumbnail. But for the intro, we got to recreate the X-Files intro and put a bunch of our inside jokes into it. But at the very last minute, you sent over... You sent over you were like, hey, I've got a cold open that could go in front of it. Just slap this on. And this is the most thrilling thing that we put on the show, in my opinion. Like this intro, I watch it and I get goosebumps whenever I watch it. And it's actually, you're recycling an effect you did on Action Movie Kid, I believe. Mm-hmm. But you did it in the context of this TV shot and with all of this. I'm just going to play it. I love this so much.
A number of unidentified flying objects have appeared over many parts of our country.
The U.S. military shooting down 3 mysterious flying objects in just 3 days.
U.S. officials described it as an octagonal structure.
No identifiable propulsion system. The object interfered with the plane's sensors.
I made the decision to shoot down the object.
Have you ruled out aliens or extraterrestrials?
I haven't ruled out anything at this point.
There is no indication of aliens or extraterrestrial activity.
What you're about to see may disturb you.
So good. One of my all-time favorite intros of all time.
I ordered this on DVD
yes,
because I had to have it afterward.
And we discovered all these different versions of the intro that, like, it had been remade, like, to HD. And we had to find the old version to match the... Oh my gosh, I forgot these analysis.
So bad.
I love that you always take... But actually, I'm going to segue from that to one more thing. I know I'm hogging all the spotlight here. So there's that, but then I think is the Stu... Oh, here we go. This promo for the episode when our pal Stu was on. And this lines up with the last one because I remember I was like, hey, can you replace these two people with us? And you were like, I could do a version of that.
Oh my God. I think we're going
Just you
best
were like,
way to honor a veteran, like continually honoring Stu on the show.
He was, and I don't.
He is in the chat, by the way. Stu is watching this show.
I remember Stu. I remember you going like, we showed it to you, and you were like, I don't know how to interpret this. You're driving into my head. Like, I guess I get it, but I think it weirded Stu out a lot with this promo. Anyway,
very cerebral read to it. All right.
Before we go to the next thing, Mr. Keyframes is saying, question, the quality of your work is amazing, and it seems you guys are churning this stuff out weekly, correct? Is the turnaround time for your projects like 3 to 4 days before each episode? How do you guys do it?
It all depends on the project.
It really
first
does.
off, thank you. We appreciate that you're calling it high quality.
It's very, very kind.
It completely depends. The bigger Raptor ones that are like full trailers, those would never take 1 week. We never got them done in one show. Usually that took up to 1 to 2 to 3, maybe even a month to really, really finish those in between doing other episodes and such. The Mission and Hospital ones also took, up to a month, if not longer.
Yeah, some of them, like I think that we started that Mission Impossible one when the first teaser dropped. Yeah. And it took us all the way until the pressure of knowing that the full trailer was going to release like 6 months later or something like that.
100%.
Because it was, I think, our last show before break too, if I recall, or something like that.
Yeah, it was. And but like those promos, like the Stu promo and stuff, like those we'll do in like a day, depending on the extent of the work. But and usually it's one of us getting an idea, doing it kind of on our own, and either like that being it, or more often than not, it's one of us does most of it and then it's asked the other one, hey, do you have something or have this? Or for me, it'll be like, how quickly can you slap some faces on some people? Or do you have like a 3D element like this? And Hashi will often with me be like, do you have a dumb music track you've made that can go here or yada, yada? And or can you recreate these titles or something? And we'll throw them together in like a day. I'm thinking about stuff where it's just one render, like 1 or 2 shots when we do on the show. That's usually, we'll finish that out after the show's over. We'll spend the next couple hours finishing out that shot, getting it over to Michael so we can share it on socials over the next week as promos and stuff. But again, it all completely depends on that. The graphics packages for the show we'll spend a large part of the hiatuses, that's a month to a couple months, developing those intros and the new graphics and the new OBS backgrounds and things.
No, huge props to you for all of those. We have a visual coherence that is really wonderful. That I know. Yeah, in my heart, I hate design. As a task, I'm bad at it. I don't like it. I don't want to scroll through fonts. I don't want to space things out.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
I just want to.
That's the good stuff.
I just want to make a shot that makes people go ooh, so I can validate my existence, whatever.
And it does.
There's a project you've been working on that really shows it off, because there's some shots that go ooh, and there's some really great typography stuff. Y'all see it in a month or so. It's pretty good.
What are you? Oh yeah. I was like, what are you talking? Sorry.
It's the thing, we can't talk about it.
We can't talk about it. You're right.
In a month or so, y'all see it.
All right, so this is a good time to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll dive into some more stuff. If you guys have something you want us to watch and you want to talk about, or you want to know more things about, I don't know, put it in the chat.
No, we love your questions. This is great. I like having a conversation with everyone.
Absolutely, we do. But we're going to take a quick break.
See you in a second.
We'll be right back.
What the f? I'm alive.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we've reached the end.
We have.
And we are recapping all the dumb we've made over the course of 5 seasons. We're taking questions in the chat. We're just hanging out. You could call it chilling. Michael, I think it's your turn again. What do you want to talk about?
Kevin Rep from the chat says the live episode in Germany is such a memorable highlight. It's difficult to choose a favorite moment. There are so many. I've always been a big fan of the Nightmare Before Christmas intro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Kevin. That is Kevin Rupp, who often represents us at live events. I'm sure if you've made it out to NAB or any of the whatever events are called.
Camp Mograph.
Yes.
Yeah. Kevin's awesome.
Tremendously positive.
Patrick GG is complaining about the lack of the super comp drop in this show.
Oh, it's broken. Yes.
We've got a lot of our drops are broken. So
there you go. You got it.
Speaking of the drops, Alex is saying, what about the drops? Would you, Seth, free them for public use, Seth?
This was actually a discussion we had ahead of time. I know that we took a lot of care of these and wanted to make them available to people, but unfortunately, after trying to find a good home for all of our drops, in the end, we're having to leave pretty early, so they're going to be euthanized.
Now, let's...
Wow.
And to answer your question, Enya Black, we're probably going to drop stuff on this channel every once in a while.
Yes, please, stay What's
subscribed.
Nice is that
subscribe
now,
again.
as you stay subscribed, you'll just get when we had to irresistibly put something together that was ridiculous that will only suit the VFX and Chill channel. So it'll be a nice surprise.
I have no idea what triggered at that time, but other than God.
My goodness, it's got its full, the drop machine has become smarter than.
Oh my God, it's getting too powerful. I've got to shut it off.
'Twas a long time ago.
Rep, this is for you.
Now than it seems that Hashi and Seth began doing live streams with their secret ingredients.
This one was all yours, Hashi, your baby. We'll talk after.
They set off to teach, but instead they found glee. For to share tricks and treats is the ultimate thrill. Won't you join us to make VFX and to chill?
Chill.
Okay, so every episode, every episode, almost every episode that season, that was the season where we did a different version of that main intro kind of like structure and project file. We tried to do a different one each week. That week, Hash, you were just like, I want to do Nightmare Before Christmas one, and I want it to feel stop motion, and I wanted to transition to us being stop motion guys, like actual artists. Actually,
it just got more and more complex as the idea came to fruition. My gosh,
it was unbelievably cool. And can you kind of break apart a little bit, like break down all the different elements of that? I know you did it on the show that week, but
a lot of fun. And on the show, I credit someone had made a recreation of the trees in the beginning, kind of like some ground planes and trees. I redid the hero trees to put on our custom Velociraptor doors, cinema door, After Effects door, and then there's a chill door. There's a Tom Cruise door.
Yeah, and an ET door.
An ET door, and.
So
look at that.
We go into that one, which is really thrilling, and then that transitions us into our main project file, which.
Yes, this was fun. This was so I built this vehicle in Cinema 4D with the modeling tools, which was a lot of fun. I found some kind of like sort of Cadillac-y car and basically just started pulling it apart into different things to try to match the mayor's car from Nightmare Before Christmas. And then those characters, I think, are were like fully available character faces that I found and stuck on these Victorian corpse bride-y bodies. Michael's up there on the TV, which is kind of fun. And
we're
then
very
this
Rick and
part,
Morty. Okay, I don't remember. I vaguely remember shooting this one, but I don't fully remember like how we did this.
What I loved about it was, I think that this just had a traditional ending, but then I was like, this would be really fun if we could do something like this. And so I filmed myself as an example on a green screen of just like miming in front of a green screen like I'm doing stuff. And was like, Seth, film yourself doing this. And so you sent me, I don't know, several minutes of footage so I could grab a handful of stills and then comp them into this shot along with our 3D assets and a little fake workshop table with a clamp and stuff. It's very much like some of the amazing like artists like Kevin Perry and other Leica artists.
Yeah, the Leica, definitely those Leica like time lapses that show them working on these big craned things.
And the other the ridiculous thing about this is I lost the original footage of us, our green screen performances in this, and so I went once back. I tried to go back to it to like pull them, and I deleted them. They got lost in the fire. So I only have the final render here.
Patrick's asking who did the voice in that intro for this episode.
Don't worry about
for
that.
Chris's poetry. They say such cadence.
Don't worry about that. That was before we got in trouble for something. So don't worry about it.
Crime Time Productions says, just wanted to say y'all have been a huge inspiration to me growing up, particularly the action movie kid videos and Seth's short films. Wouldn't be where I am in my film career without y'all.
Thank you, Crime.
Thank you. Yes, and Justin the Duck says, I also wouldn't be where I am in my film career without the gang. Also, this may be irrelevant, but I'm unemployed and desperately looking for work.
That lines up. That lines much more up with our influence. And, you know, by the way, so that was the Nightmare Before Christmas one. And just to roll through a few of these, this was the original intro that we built, and we built it intending to be a template for other episodes. So we'd be like, let's start with Twister. Because we were talking about, do we fly through? Like, it'd be great if we got a car and we just flew through all these different movie environments. And we're like, well, what if
you built this from scratch, like this whole thing as a.
I wouldn't say from scratch. No, I mean, like, this is a production crate background. This tunnel thing, which is awesome. You made a really great lighting map out of it that we used to light the vehicles back here. But this was like a very heavily modified truck that we found on Sketchfab and made to look like the Twister truck. But then we built this, like, it's like 3 main scenes, I think, essentially, and they were very modular, where we could kind of drag and drop. Procedural,
well,
probably.
See, that was the thing, is that you built a very nice modular template if you wrap your brain around that camera move, which is
the camera move was nuts. You're right. I forgot about the camera move. So the camera move was built for a look. The problem is, it is both because you're in this giant dome, you don't have any other objects to really like get parallax from or define things from. We were wanting the truck to randomly like jettison forward or come back real fast, and the camera to be moving at the same time. So the camera and the vehicles are both, they're being animated for how it looks, not for how it is. And because of that, like, so maybe you can describe that better than I can, Hash.
Well, yeah, like this is so dynamic and fun, and Back to the Future ride from Universal Studios.
That was the idea behind it, yeah.
Like, so fun. And like, yeah, your camera move is so dynamic. It's fun and playful, and there's a lot of momentum and speed that you get out of it. But if you're truly looking at the visual cues, there's very little to show you other than your relative position to that car where you could be in space. And even the car is flying around. So you built this so it was like you could slug in a 360 map and a mid-ground element, a foreground like card that would fly by, and then the vehicle.
Yeah, we placed the vehicle, the foreground thing that would fly by, and then a big hero thing in the background, and then the map, the 360 map. But the problem was,
I immediately wanted to
do more.
Because it was a car. I didn't always have it flying. I was like, I want it to be on the ground. I want it to be in a city. I want it to be in Here we go. And so what this required is one of my favorite things. I built that car, by the way.
I can't believe you built that car. There's another car we'll get to in a second that you built, but this one's nuts. And so we wanted to put a city in here. And the problem was when we got in here, that camera was flying through buildings. The car was flying through buildings. Not just that, the camera in the car would just randomly fire across town out of nowhere because of the way that they're animated within this dome to look good. You bring in all these extra elements in the foreground, it breaks immediately. And there was so much trouble week to week. It's
weird.
Keeping it all matching.
Yeah, at some point, I believe it was for the Mad Max intro.
Yes.
I finally was like, okay.
That was the one, you're right.
That was the one I was like, okay, it's going to be around the whole time. There's other cars and stuff like that. We need a real 3D version of this, but I did not want to betray how cool this camera work is and the placement of the car within frame and stuff. So we exported a Cinema 4D project so I could see where those elements were moving around. I brought the 3D cars null into there and then put it on a giant linear kind of consistent path with the camera still locked to where its relative position was to the car, and then was sort of, like basically did a series of parenting and unparenting all the pieces from the camera or to a null that represented the whole world. And we ended up with something where there was a world null and the vehicle null and the locked camera that you couldn't touch. So we could finally drop in assets all around. And it's a sweeping camera move. There's a surprising amount of real estate to cover if you ever turn your camera slightly.
It's nuts. Well, and if you look at if you notice when we come out of the portal, in any other version, we come out of the portal and let me see if I can go to back to the Twister one.
Let's go back to Twister.
We come out of the portal and it feels like we're continuing to be at a fast speed, or we're just sitting still, right? And then it feels like we come around up to the car, or the car backs up to us, one or the other, or a combination. But if you look at the Mad Max one, the second we come out of that portal, we're not stationary, but we're not passing this armada.
It's traveling so fast there.
And then it starts again. Watch this.
Life, yeah.
Then it starts moving all of a sudden.
Look how fast.
Yeah.
Really good call to put the grid in there to maintain our.
That was
the aesthetic was to show mixes of comp elements with the visual effects.
Now, actually, if I remember correctly, Hash, the cars are not moving in this. You actually have the ground. You or I had the ground moving instead.
Yes, this was. I think before I kind of normalized it.
Yeah.
It was the car, is drifting in space like this. The camera is sort of orbiting around it on this a stalk that, or just a little pivot point. And
I think it's a null that controlled the camera's
that makes sense.
It was orbiting it would orbit around the camera, but we can move that null around to change the camera. So it wasn't parented to the car. The car could do whatever it wanted, but that null could sometimes track with the car and sometimes not.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if I actually ever went away from it being the ground null, just flying into the background.
That might have.
I think that might have been how it was always done because you could keep the car. It would stay right, where the world center was, and the ground would have to move away from it, and everything was parented to it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and another one of my favorites was this Twister one. Oh, and in this template, by the way, one of the scenes built this generative fill UI from scratch, and you could actually type into, I think, a marker in the comp or something. You could type into, and it would automate this typing here, and then click generate and do this cool noise thing that we created for that season.
I loved your color effect there. Oh, look at that.
Yes. That was so fun because we were like, let's cut inside and show us just flying around inside the.
So dumb. Look at those atmospherics and the depth map you used there. Yes.
That one was hard because the Enterprise was so massive that it was trying to.
It's weird to see it maneuver quickly, the way a car could rock on its. know,
And then
axles.
Your Godzilla one was nuts.
Goodness, these are this should just be the show. It's really
this freaking intro. I know. So you made the boat. It's so great. So this, I think, I don't remember if this is pre Mad Max or post Mad Max, but we were now constrained to one plane. Let's say keeping the boat on one plane. You made him wave. I forgot you made him wave.
Oh my gosh.
And gave him a snorkel.
So fun. Yes, it had to be fun.
That's
I think I neglected to put in any nulls, or like I had a handful that I was like, it's too late.
This one was fun because it was very simple.
Yes.
From our Apple Vision Pro episode.
This is a good one to like sell the idea of how do you interpret them moving compared to the camera, because look at that.
Your Bill
are you able to frame through that at all?
Yeah.
I want to see just the last few frames. This was a suggestion of one of my kids. They were like, can you just duct tape the headset to the TV? And
that's so good. And you know it's
working
working
for him. Before I knew how to use like the unified cloth system, I was like trying to like model this duct tape to look haphazardly.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so great.
And then your Bill and Ted one was a passionate one for you, I believe. That was one of the first ones you wanted to do.
Oh, yes. So dumb. I knew I had this model from the Bill and Ted Cheap Tricks.
Oh, I remember you couldn't think of what to do. And I was like, and we were coming up on the episode and I was like, well, just do the gag from Bogus Journey where they fall forever.
Well, it was lifelike.
Absolutely.
I feel like our Mixamies had a
good run,
just a good life of their own in several instances.
There are two others. One of them I don't see in here that were my favorite. The first one was this, which I think was the best one that we ever did. That feels the most theme park ridey, and I'm going to play it with the audio.
Oh, yes, please.
I got you, babe. 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 You, babe. You, babe. You, babe.
Chill.
Love that one.
Goodness gracious, so fun.
And then I don't have your Roger Rabbit one.
It is in our season 4 intro renders.
All right, let me grab it real quick.
The Roger Rabbit one was really good. Like it was one of my faves for sure.
Yeah, someone had asked about how long things take.
That's the longest one, I think.
That one, because it was like the third one I wanted to do. And so I modeled little Benny.
Oh, you just triggered.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it never gets
buried
triggered
in there. My God.
And you built that Benny from scratch.
Benny. There's a toon render of him, actually. That's a render.
It's just nuts. It's so
I tried as
cool.
much as I could to match their like weird, soft, like kind of shaded, kind of not thing. And then
he was not 3D. In the original, he was 2D though. But
yeah.
But you like
unless you're talking about the extra features where you get on the DVD where you get to interactively ride around town in a not quite right Benny voice.
Yeah. That's different.
CG model, which was way less on model than this one.
But I remember this one I have it muted so you can. But I like this is a favorite movie of ours, like all-timer for us. And so it was very, very fun to watch you go in and pick apart all the little details of the Toontown sequence down to like the quilt. This never gets used. Maybe I don't even have it anymore. Quilt maps?
Quilt maps.
That drop happened once.
Oh my gosh.
And now twice.
But yeah, like I didn't realize until I was like framing through the original that the Toontown Hills are this patchwork quilt, which was really cool.
Yeah. But yeah,
this had too many layers.
Way too many.
This is what this had.
And it took a long, long time to make that one. Let's see. I don't know whose turn that was. Who was that? Was that Michael? Is that you? I'm trying to keep turns going. I guess I'll Hashi. What about you?
Oh man. These intros were definitely one of the biggest things that I loved. I'm going to look at what else I wrote down here. One thing that we sort of had worked into a handful of our productions was our animated Velociraptor, which
I was wondering
I don't know
when
if
we
we've
were
really
going to be getting to it. We haven't talked about it.
Yeah, that was going to be my next one too if no one else said anything. We have to talk about that.
And we should talk about where that came from too.
Goodness. I think that it was a ridiculous it was something like the trailer for is it Final Rec? No.
It was Jurassic World Dominion.
Dead Reckoning.
No, it was actually
yes,
Jurassic World
why.
Dominion. That trailer came out, and we were like, this looks like just a Mission Impossible movie with dinosaurs. And you said, and I said, what do you want? Do you want to just put dinosaurs into the Mission Impossible? Into Mission Impossible.
And I was like, Seth, do I?
Nope. You said, or we could just replace one person with a Velociraptor.
Mm-hmm.
You had a terrible choice to make in Berlin. One life over millions. Now the world is at risk.
You don't understand what you're involved in. Please don't make me go through you.
I love the title.
It's so long.
There's so many things going on in it. It's like the You're a Wizard Harry photo with Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, it is. I sent a screenshot of this title without the "but with the Raptor" instead of Tom Cruise. Just Mission Impossible in the Jurassic Park logo, and I sent it to my pals Charles and Drew, who host the Light the Fuse podcast, a Mission Impossible centric podcast, which I believe is now the official Mission Impossible podcast. But I sent this to them, and they were like, "What the hell is going on here?" With no context. And this started it all. This was what's so funny to me about this is I watched this and I remember you started with our original vision, which is replace Tom Cruise with just a full-on Velociraptor.
Completely with a Velociraptor. I think specifically because of the jumping over the rooftop scene.
Yes.
I think there was some shot in the Dominion trailer that we thought would work for it.
That looked like that,
and
yes.
then we ended up just recreating the actual shot from it.
I believe you even break his foot in it too, don't you? No, maybe you don't. But it's it's so good. And then I start getting my hands on shots, and I get lazy, and I'm like, I think I took the guns first, and I was like,
I think so. And yeah, you can see that we're still working out our scale of head, which
changes shot to shot. But the second I was like, I got lazy and was like, I'm just going to replace the head, and we had no consistency across this thing for it. But it became apparent very quickly that it was very funny to see a Velociraptor head on a human body firing a weapon, and then to see it driving a car while everyone's scared.
No, yeah. What is wild about this is that idea, that laziness out of improvising VFX quickly, validated the whole point of our content creator adjacent jobs.
Yeah.
Which was wild because over the course of the last few years, these But with the Raptors things had 123,000 subscribers on social and had been, I remember we surpassed 65 million views, which I was just excited for that number.
Yeah.
Over the course of
obviously
a few things.
65 million is a big number for dinosaurs.
It is. But yeah, back in the good old days where you could make a silly meme like this and let your friends share it online.
And it went, let's see, I've got,
yes.
This is our first volume of just the video stuff. I'm going to skip this because we're going to come back to that. But because that was the second one that really hit it big.
Oh my gosh.
End is inevitable, Maverick.
I forget about that.
Kind of
there are so many.
There's so many I forgot we made.
What the hell?
This is my favorite. This is one of the biggest ones.
This was just like hitting this at the exact right moment in the zeitgeist.
It did, because it was just, there was no context for it. It was the perfect silly thing. This one is so good. This is one of your best comps.
Of love. I love this comp. Like, there's just something fun about, like the plates really dictate the quality of the effects you'll comp into them, and I feel like the Raptor series pushed us.
Oh, 100%.
To the point that we had, at some point had our very own Ian Robinson sculpt a new Velociraptor with a ton of detail, the entire body of one.
It's incredible. We moved into it. We used it on several later in the game, and we still have it and plan to use it. We're sneaking Raptors into everything, even after VFX and Chill. This was one of my favorites because this shot was... that it implies that no one thought to think that he's the villain.
He's gone mad.
So when he turns, it's like, oh shit, I didn't rethink. And then he, anytime
that was a core tenet of the But with Raptor series, was that they would never use their actual dinosaur ferocity. They would use
guns. They would always pull a gun, and they would also never use weaponry of the time, which we'll get to. This was my favorite one of the Scream series that I did, because I worked real hard on this squawk, and its eyes go.
The weird considerations you have to make for stuff that was shot for a human head, like you have no idea how much higher you have to frame for the Velociraptor head, and how
if you look at its neck,
the neck that much is amazing.
The neck, it's like it's doing this. Hey, it's me. Like it's pulling its like chin all the way back in.
That's some great animation.
And Matthew Lillard Raptor, and this one was so stupid. It didn't
or
fit
Matthew
the mask.
Lizard, as the chat says.
Matthew Lizard, damn it, Michael and everyone. This was one of yours. So good.
To the Iron Throne.
Okay, this was the first time you went crazy with the tongue on this one. That's right.
Buddy, you're not an elf.
This one was so good too. See, whenever we could pile layers on layers of like the idea that this raptor real, like it's already a movie about a character who is out of place, who like this fish out of water, and when you replace it with a raptor, a lot of times it would replace the person that was a fish out of water, but in this case it's like we got hats on hats on hats.
We let you think that
it's so many layers of hats.
One of us.
And I also love that this is a deleted scene, so like not many people like know it from the movie.
Oh, I never
and
realized
so it was
that.
a weird. It was a fun one too.
Felt like we shot Bob Newhart just for that. He cut to just this lazy ass Santa raptor.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, this one you did a lot of like there were spatial issues with the head.
This was crazy.
Because he is supposed to have a human head like right here, and you had to like You had to
like
move his
I had to
body
keep the
back?
hand and like kind of recreate the whole body from like the wrist downward to reframe it, paint in a new like fireplace, and I believe at the very beginning I'm stitching 2 shots together because she says the line,
right,
and then it cuts to Hans and it cuts back to her, and it's close enough that I do like a morph right at the beginning somewhere from
right there, yeah,
right there.
Oh, I
Morphs
totally
from
forgot that.
so I could like compress it for time because. Yeah, my favorite part of like universal thing that you contribute to these, Seth, is your editing is so hilarious and funny and efficient.
He said the darkest one, maybe. We should have then heard cut to gunshots. This is great because anytime the Raptor tries to sing or speak eloquently. Chad Perkins, hey buddy. So stupid. I said thank, and then cuts immediately. But that plays great on social because it just starts looping again.
So great.
Oh, this one is so funny because.
Oh, we got this out like the day after this aired too.
You say we, you did. 100% you. You're just like, I got to do this. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys in a day. The bird movements. This is when we had started to discover that the bird movements.
I think that this might have been me like stealing your, like one of your project files because that might be Lillard at the beginning right here, or I don't know.
No, and you're right because there's some. I forget where I started to discover that the bird movements were what made it feel stupider and like more animalistic, and it's so good here because it's just like what. It's so what now, and also the subtitle. Oh my god!
Okay.
Finally,
I created this one
alone at night.
I want some May that I was flying back from Germany, so I was doing this on my laptop in an airport, and just trying to imagine what. Like I was doing this, in the airport, and then at my seat in the plane, just comping this until my battery ran out.
Very close to another person.
People usually think that someone who's next to you in the airplane talking to you is the problem. Then someone had to sit next to this.
Doing this, whatever this is.
And I was sure to involve them in the process too, like say, "What do you think?
What do you think of this?" And putting it, like moving it onto their table. This one killed me when I first saw it.
I just want to take another look at it.
It's absolutely
so fun. And this is another sneaky one where like the whole second shot is CG, which is fun.
I didn't even realize it until
it was
you
like
told me that.
trying to like seam it together, like with the footage didn't work, like the poses didn't work and stuff. And so I eventually found like a scan of a person. So it was like a photogrammetry person. I tried to match the necklace and then just shove the raptor head on there so it could do all of this.
It's so nuts, and it looks so matrix. Like it looks so like I don't imagine it as Lady Gaga. It looks almost like his mom. Like for some reason that outfit with it and the height and the stature makes it look more like, I don't know. I stole this completely from a meme. One of my favorite tweets from I don't remember the person.
We credited them and
on Twitter we did, yes, but it was one of my favorite jokes, and I just
say my name. Goddamn right.
Again, the hats.
The hats are always hats and hair. Once again, right here. That one is so good. It's out of tune. This one.
I love Phoebe like during the she sells it. It's like
yes. Well, the raptor is just like screaming.
It's like like Leah Thompson's work in Howard the Duck. Like it grounds you, and you can
I also want to point out Here, the Raptor is not doing any. We didn't give it action that in this moment that Indiana Jones wasn't already doing, and yet when we make it a Raptor doing it, it's inherently hilarious because there seems to be no logic, just danger. I'm just a crazy animal with a whip.
Back into a corner.
I think you and I, Hash, like laughed for like an hour when we started doing this.
Gosh.
And
I think that I think the fact that whether or not we're doing the show, we will still want to creatively make each other laugh by doing this kind of stupid stuff is a good reason why. You should still subscribe to
and
this
then
channel.
and then we make each other laugh, and then we collectively hide things from Michael until they're ready to show, and then we subject Michael to them, and it's the most rewarding experience ever.
You can't handle the truth.
This was an early one, and this was a very early one.
Oh God, that jaw.
Oh, this one, Hash, this was one of your best comps, dude. You did the whole like.
Oh God, it's such a long comp with like tracking and a bunch of weird replacement and
you're working with
it's
like some of the
lower
best
res than like you'd think.
Well, yeah, and it's Citizen Kane, so like the camera move is so dynamic and interesting, and and yet you've got it's so good. This, you know what?
This is one of my very favorite comps that you've ever done.
I think it's one of mine too, because a lot of it is like when you're working with one of your favorite shots from a movie. Like this is one of my favorite shots from a movie or trailer. Is the shot right here of Bruce Willis from Die Hard with a Vengeance. I love it. I think about it every day. It's one of the coolest friggin' shots in any action movie ever.
Insanity.
And just putting this Raptor in was the most satisfying thing in the world. So fun. This one, dude, you keep picking these long oneers to do.
It was really, I think, a practice to learn camera tracking and object tracking is what a lot of these kind of work.
That was after we got our account stolen.
Oh, yes.
This was the gift made to announce that we got it back. This one, you pulled a mask. I love whenever we defy space, pulling a mask off and there being a whole raptor head in there.
I think that Mark Hamill liked this one.
Oh, yeah. We got some fun likes from celebrities across all these Raptor videos. And then back to Planes, Trains, you had the brilliant idea to bring in Earl, the dinosaur.
That feels good. My dogs are barking today.
Human feet.
I was so insecure about if this was a funny idea or not. And I rendered out a version with Steve Martin still, a version with John Candy still.
Oh, yeah.
And just like replacing either with a dinosaur to see if it was funnier that way.
No, it was always funny. Oh, yeah, I forgot he may change the subtitles too. He matched them great.
Which also meant painting them out from the original.
Yeah.
Because they're burned into the film there. This is another classic narrative.
You know what you are.
Oh yeah, you moved her line, her face, onto this other line, this other take or this other shot.
You know what you are.
And he kept him cropped out too.
It's ridiculous.
All right, so earlier I set this up. The weapons, these animals don't hurt you by their animalistic nature. And they also don't use the weaponry of the day. This was... Okay.
No man can kill me.
It's just...
And
then we end it with one of your masterpieces here, which was a shocking amount of work. Because you put Ellie Sattler in, good God. And your brilliant idea to do the banner...
This is so fun. So many little learning moments here.
And that's the thing, honestly, the amount of crap we learned about Cinema 4D and Redshift and
I learned how to use a shadow, a whatchamacallit. I can't even think of the name right now.
I learned everything about a thing. No, but true. It's like we genuinely learned so much just by turning people into raptors, which is the stupidest thing in the world. We have to take a quick break. We're going to be right back after this.
Hey, look, it just rolled up. We're about to have a ball.
Drizzle. Flow motion. Mr. Mercury.
Yeah, I want to tell him something.
Don't get us in trouble, please.
Ripper.
Give me a plug in McDouble
CC
C.
bar action. CC bar action.
C to the B, all action. Drop it on the song and feel the attraction. First on the planet, we got scatter. Looking less flatter like this or like that. You wanna play with us? You set your radius. Then need to turn that thing around.
Up on down, XYZ. Spin about a crazy on all axes. I'm the genuine article, built-in particle system twist. No one can resist
CC bar
them.
action.
How big are your
CC bar action.
Got me kind of the balls.
We go psycho, raise it like a psycho, baby, we're twisted, twisted, twisted. North to the east, to the west, to the south, right, and these CC balls in y'all.
Screen.
Facilities, abilities, control, and instabilities. A swarm of physical killer bees, a jumper trying to LEDs. Real OGs recognize CCs, AEs, every V since 93.
Where my CC ballers at?
Welcome back. If you're just
We're back.
joining us. We are taking a stroll down memory lane. We have 20 minutes left of VFX and Chill forever. And
Goodness gracious. Yeah.
we would like to talk about next. We talked about some Raptors. I want to save. There's a couple things I know we want to end with. So there's a couple things that I'd love to talk about before that. Well, I mean, quickly rolling through a couple things. We did some really silly things with action figures one day.
This could have been a whole series.
It really could have been. There's also the Guardians one.
Such an amazing several shots.
Hashi, you did this in Killer floating one.
Oh, this was fun.
This is you
Filmed
on roller skates and then painting out your legs and adding in Mixamo legs, correct?
Mm-hmm. Which is so fun. It's filmed by my wonderful mother-in-law.
Yeah.
It's so cute. Like, it totally got the concept of the floating camera and everything like that.
We did hot dog fingers one episode for no reason. We like to recreate practical effects in the computer. It's fun. Like this one, where we did that for no reason.
Look at that. Practical.
Our Apple Vision Pro episode, you did this incredible Indiana Jones.
It looks like gold. They can calculate its density and compare that to the known density of gold.
We're looking at how to measure the density of an irregular shaped object like this. To work out the density, we need to know both the mass and the volume.
You've got to be kidding me right now. I can't.
You know, Jock would be texting him nonstop if phones were a thing. We did Death Becomes Her one episode.
Oh my gosh.
We did.
Welcome
we became
to VFX
MODOK.
and Chill. I am Hashi. And
When
floating
you
over there is
surprised
my
me
friend
with your
Seth.
animated.
It's me, Seth. Gosh,
Hey,
I don't even
MODOK.
remember
Head.
doing it.
Did you get a new haircut? There's something different about you.
You know? Let's see. We did a Star Wars. Oh yeah, we made these Star Wars things. I don't even remember what this was for, but we did it.
I wasn't there that week.
That's a Space Jam episode.
Space Jam. You're right. You're totally right. This one crawled out of a television. I don't know if this one has my behind the scenes footage. I don't think it does.
Your punchline here. Oh my gosh.
Of me falling out of the window because I'm actually just crawling out the window.
Oh, way early in the chat, someone said that for the finale episode, we definitely need you falling out the window to top things off. But that was way early in the chat. But the chat remembered it fondly.
This was Loki, one of our Loki episodes.
I think it was the first Loki.
We didn't make that. Sky Butthole had to make an appearance. Hashi, you made that.
Simon was asking to see that
Simon's always asking to see Skyfall.
I know.
And it's weird, Simon. Calm down. It's not weird. It's wonderful. We recreated the Spider-Verse
oh my gosh.
titles and graphics one episode, which was so freaking cool.
This was intense.
Also, check that episode out because we had freaking
Academy Award winning Peter Ramsey.
Thank you, Peter
as
Ramsey,
our guest
on the show. An interview, like absolutely worth the price of admission, which is it's free, so it's worth more. That was so much fun trying to do forensics on those titles and figure out what all's going on there and how to recreate them. It was really
so
fun.
good.
Oh,
all right, let's do this one last time.
Oh, that
forgot we
so
had
beautiful.
Chrissy in there. Okay, we'll come back to this. We have the Big Mermaids where we're shirtless. The Batman fighting. Golly, there's so much stuff here, guys.
Goodness.
There was so much.
Like,
oh my
truly,
gosh,
like in our 5 seasons of the show, we've produced over an hour of memes, and meaning, like the clips. If you strung all of our ridiculous stuff together, it runs longer than an hour. For like so many of them being, like 10 to 15 seconds long.
Yeah,
absurd.
Stuff like that. We've got.
I'm Seth, and that's Hashi.
Wait, double feature. So we had the 1 week early in season 1. We did a couple Loki episodes, and one of them we challenged each other to recreate that baton, whatever those were called, effects. So we shot a plate of ourselves and then sent it to each other, and did our own shots of it. And yours is so good because you just keep doing it over and over. You made him wind it back.
What? Come on. You serious right now? Ow, God, what the? Oh. Oh. Come on. Ow, God.
I was so happy because you did like 4 different potential takes of just dying, and I think
You used them all.
I used them all.
On VFX and Chill, Michael,
So we did one of our favorite games we played on the show was World War ZBrush, and
also, this is like only their second
we
time around at ZBrush.
learned very quickly how bad we are at ZBrush. How bad?
Very much beginners.
I mean,
Well, this was
comparatively.
what's fun is that this was over a year ago.
Yeah,
and
you've actually gone on to do.
I feel good about this. This is not that I could instruct someone how to use it, but it's like having access to someone's workshop where I could make something in there.
100%.
You shouldn't watch me doing it, and I might lose fingers, but
you shouldn't watch me do it. Shang-Chi. Oh, let's see what's this. Oh, that's where you put.
Same old Seth.
It's not even our effects that we did. This season we did some Fantastic Four stuff with the
I joined a
bear.
jazz fusion class, so in your face.
Hey, I've heard you f***ing play, and you're f***ing terrible. And see, it's a f***ing restaurant. Why do I give a f*** that you play the keyboard?
I'm a hard worker. I'm a nice guy. I got a great vibe.
F*** your vibe.
Don't ever f*** my vibe.
I swear to God, I will f*** anything I want to f***.
We did some
gosh.
Void stuff from
yeah.
Thunderbolts, Asterisk the New Avengers.
Mother, look! What's all that white stuff?
Why, it's snow.
Snow?
Yes. Winter has come.
That's where that line comes from originally.
I forgot this one had such a long lead time.
It's honestly one of the few things that are fun to just indulge in every now and then.
What's this one? Oh man, this was early. We did a Venom.
Oh,
Therapy
meat
Carnage.
tubes.
It's before my shelves were built.
Yoink.
Meat tubes with trap code.
Look at this.
Dow,
This shows
I think.
it's like a living history of that room.
That was with Dow, yes.
Oh man, the Zuck, the season of the Zuck. We made something weird, even weirder.
Which I didn't know was possible.
I know.
Wild. Holy cow!
Your cool
Yes,
fire thing.
I'm wearing that shirt today.
Nice. This one was fun because you just keep hitting your muscular self. That's right. I objectify you. I'm allowed to.
See, my acting is really what my passion is, as evidenced by my Loki green screen performances. Look at that.
That's another thing the chat called out earlier. I put it up on the screen, but I didn't have time to call it out. The chat mentioned how much work it is to be acting on camera and how that's one of your underrated skills, Hashi.
It really is.
Oh, thank you.
He's very good at it.
My favorite Hashi acting moment was you stealing your award out of the cabinet. Like that was like as an evil villain.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I have that, but it was so good.
Oh, that was fun. It was inspired by Matt Death, the awesome TikTok artist who does cool visual effects.
Your
Somebody
puppets
else
here. Oh, go ahead.
Puppets.
I was going to say someone very early in the chat mentioned that anytime we played with soft body effects on the show, they loved it. And that cat's one is probably one of my favorite moments.
I also like when we play with rigid body dynamics. I know that.
Let's go. This is wild.
Oh yeah. This was a long time intro. The
Velociraptor.
I know. Okay, so we talked earlier about.
Yeah, we're in the last 10 minutes now. We gotta.
So, roll through real quick. One of my favorite intros was season 2's intro.
Good.
Where we were just like, let's break apart. Let's take the spirit of like After Effects and VFX work and just try and make something that feels like a giant tribute to it and be really silly and weird. And I think we perfected this look in season 4.
But like all the bones are there. Look at that.
Yeah, look
That's
at all
so
the
good.
bones.
Yeah, dynamics are so good.
Good. So
Patrick GG is calling out your recent thing, Hashi, with a skateboarder exploding into stuff.
Oh gosh,
I thought that was quite good.
about that.
Oh,
and that was just a couple weeks ago.
That was. Let's see. Are we still? Is that pre-archived? Let me see. What was that episode
There's also
called?
the Infinite Stairs, in which you looped
so
our favorite
brilliantly.
shot from John Wick, Chapter 3 or Chapter 4.
Oh my gosh, this was so brilliantly cut into our tribute video earlier. Goodness gracious. By Nick Smith.
Also, one of my favorite Raptor videos you did.
This was maybe our most requested Raptor shot as soon as we started doing these.
Oh, 100%. I have to say, one of my favorite stupid things that I made on the show, we were talking about this before the show, Hush, was the Mando Impossible shot. I don't remember whose idea it was to have John Voight take his face off and be underneath it, be wearing a Mandalorian helmet.
I think like we had like the general idea.
I love it because it is absolutely senseless. There is no context in which it makes sense, or it's just so absolutely pointless and silly. And I love it.
It's ridiculous.
And it looks good too.
And that sound cue, the cutting to the Mandalorian theme. Oh, it's just.
Well, and Hashi walked me through this great way to like recreate the lighting on his head too, so it's just so stupid and funny to me.
It turned out well. I mean, like you nailed the Beskar look there.
Oh yeah, well thank you. There's
I'm
also
pasting in the footage folder
thank you.
That simulation.
I'll import it.
This is another one that the build-up really.
Very fun. I believe we got a little a state of approval from Jason Reitman on that one. This was your really cool the creator recreation that you did.
Oh, amazing!
It looks like a Snapchat like filter, but you made it.
But
I meant that as a compliment. I mean, like,
and we even made we had the amazing Brielle Garcia on our show once, and
that's right.
Amazing Snapchat filters, and we've done a few of our own over the years. Look at this.
You created this, one of our mini perception episodes, and you had the gall to, when we were having these incredible artists on our show, to recreate their work and make it stupider, to bring them on the show,
just to bring them down.
You did it with Hawkeye too. I don't have that in there, but you did it on the Hawkeye episode as well. Let me import real quick the one you just dropped in, and then we have 2 final things to talk about. If anybody has anything else before that.
No, I think I'm good.
Just on the joke is asking, are we ever going to chill again off stream for the camaraderie? We're going to chill all the time. We still work together.
Yeah,
that we do. For real, feel free to connect with, if you want to talk to any of us, you can connect with us on social media. I don't think any of us are especially hard to find.
No, not at all.
The Great Zalam or Seth Worley or probably Action Movie Dad out there.
Actually, this is one of the best things you've made, dude.
This is so fun.
It's so
the sound effects do 50 to 70% of the work.
I never gave you credit for that sound design and that. It's so good.
It's so wild. But we were saying that yes, stay in touch with us.
Patrick GG is saying
through, questions and comments on this channel. We'll probably still see all of this stuff here.
Yes.
You can reach out to us independently on social media as well.
And of course, if you like tips from me, most Tuesdays on the Red Giant social media channels, I give you 2 tips pretty much every Tuesday. Might not be this next coming one because I'll be in the middle of flying across an ocean a day or so before, so jet lag might get to me. But most Tuesdays you get 2 tips on pretty much any of the Red Giant social medias: Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, all the good ones and the bad one.
My favorite thing about this one, Hashi, is that you
Why didn't you tell me? I insist on being here when they're born.
I love it. It's so weird.
Speaking of weird, no context. This is our season premiere, I believe, for this season, for whatever season that was. We were like, let's just put Fred Flintstone and stuff.
That's pretty good. I'm gonna see if I have that hole in the head one.
The thing that I love. This was one of my favorite effects too.
Oh, this is really great. Goodness gracious. So many hits, just hit after hit.
We just hit after hit. So listen, let's talk about our final two. Hashi, I'm gonna let you decide in what order we talk about them.
How about you do? Because I'm forgetting now.
Oh.
I have a brain fog.
One was our probably one of our biggest Raptor hits. And
yes.
The other one was a man taking many hits.
Goodness gracious. Yes. So Tom Cruise clearly figures highly in our work, and that eventually led us to this, which is one of my very favorite things that we've made.
100%. Well, yeah. How did
you can play it?
Well,
what was great about this is the way that this came about is you're working with a good creative partner when you both see the trailer for this and independently start doing the same visual effects gag, and then come together that weekend and are like, oh, hey.
That's a sweet one.
Oh, that's sweet. But yeah, this one we had both saved this clip and motion tracked it. Specifically the shot of him riding up to the motorcycle.
Yeah.
What are words?
Riding
up to the edge of the cliff with a motorcycle.
It was obvious we should have him just fall and get hurt. And then I think from that was the idea of that he gets hurt a lot especially in Ghost Protocol, he has 2 significant head injuries that do not seem to show any effect on his mental well-being, except to say,
though, to his credit, he will take. I think that you described this better on the show once, but yeah, he'll make a fool out of himself in being overwhelmed physically by a situation, which makes it so much more real.
It's the difference between, you know, Bruce Willis in Die Hard and then Stallone or Schwarzenegger in anything, or, you know, Dwayne Johnson anything. By the way, huge Schwarzenegger and Stallone and Dwayne Johnson fan right here. But what I love about the dynamic that Die Hard brought to action cinema is that idea of like a vulnerable human being in an extraordinary circumstance and getting the shit kicked out of them and responding to pain. And Tom Cruise is so good at that. And yes, he like absolutely has created this franchise for him to be the ultimate human being, like the world's savior, right? But he also gets consistently like the shit kicked out of him. He consistently, there's so many shots where he's fighting some thug and that thug turns out to be much taller than him. It's also an Indiana Jones dynamic too, right? But like in these movies, he gets hurt so much. We were like, what if we made this more realistic? I think is what we started talking about. And
which led to...
We created it. And so we did. This is what it led to.
This mission of yours.
Oh my God. When you did that shot.
Cost you dearly.
Your idea to put x-rays behind him, make him a doctor.
It's been a long time, fam. Ethan, what's your objective? What's your ultimate objective?
Your life will always matter more to me than my own.
None of our lives can matter more than this mission.
I don't accept that.
The IV bag.
Holy cow.
It's just so, and by the way, that was like our first time really learning Lockdown, Chris Varandos' Lockdown plugin, which is like indispensable tool of mine now. And making that was so fun because that was when I truly discovered the power of Lockdown, and it just opened up all these possibilities at the same time as also learning how to use Photoshop's generative fill in tandem with Lockdown and After Effects. And it just, that has never been automatically triggered on the show, and it was absolutely perfect that it showed up.
It was. Oh my gosh.
And then we followed it up with this sequel.
Everything you are, everything you've done has come to this. That's the pattern, isn't it? You refuse to heed simple medical instructions. You've always been on the right side, brother. I have no regrets. Neither should you.
I need you to trust me. One last time.
You know, I can't think of it, but actually, I know we had one more thing we wanted to watch.
I feel like I may be good off of that. That's so fun.
All of like everything that we've done has come to this. And guys, this has been one of the most fulfilling, as silly as the show is, and as insignificant as the show is in the grand scheme of the internet and the entertainment landscape. Guys, this was so special and fun to me. The two of you mean so much to me, and the stupid crap that we've gotten to make together, and I extend that to everybody in the chat. Like, I extend that to the chat, is that you guys consistently, you people consistently showing up and like making stupider jokes than us in the chat, and being like so enthusiastic and like giving us incredible tips and teaching us like a ton of stuff. This has been wonderful. I'm going to shut up and let you guys say some last things before we go.
Michael?
Well, I mean, this has been such a great show, especially me being able to actually take the time to read the chat almost every episode. It's just been a delight to hang out with all you folks watching. I'm so glad to be here. And all the stuff you've been saying in the chat this week has just been so nice. It's been so great to hang out with you every Friday.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Y'all are wonderful. We really appreciate you coming and tuning into this ridiculous show. It's going to still live on the channel, so feel free to visit any of our past adventures. And we're still all going to be working and teaching and making crazy, ridiculous stuff here at Maxon. So
hugging and kissing.
We'll be around.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will.
All the things. But yeah, we love you very much. All of you out there, both of you here on the show. Love you all.
Thank you, guys.